Build shows on the road. We're actually at Lake Michigan right here, beyond that lull right there. And I've got Ben, the owner of Paul Maurer Construction. Ben is a second generation builder here in Michigan. We're about to tour this gorgeous lakefront property and show you a couple really cool beachfront tips. Today's build show from Michigan. Let's get going. All right, Ben, I got to tell you, this is a gorgeous location right here on Lake Michigan, but I can't help but start with the siding. What is this gorgeous siding we're seeing here?
So this is Aoya is what it's called. It's thermally modified Japanese pine.
Okay.
So it's an FSC certified softwood. So it's a pretty quickly grown material.
This is its kind of natural color, right?
No, this is, I mean, there's various colors, but what they do, and this is a wire brush also, but
really
it's an acetylation process, which I'm not entirely certain exactly what that is. It's some type of a treatment process that bakes this, and what it does is it...
Okay, Ben, sorry to cut you off. I got back from the Michigan trip and had to look this up because I was really curious. What is Aoya made from? I've actually, frankly, used it a couple times and had good success with it. Not a sponsored video, but I went to their website, aoya.com. Here's what they say on the website. Let me read it to you. It's treated by acetylation. It's actually a treated wood, not a heat treated or a modified wood, for lack of a better term. It says treating or modifying wood by acetylation is basically subjecting a softwood to a vinegar which turns it into a hardwood by preventing the cells in the wood from being able to absorb water. It's kind of funny. It goes on to say, so acetylized wood is pickled wood? More or less, yes. The chemistry that turns it into is a little complex, and the vinegar is not the same vinegar as your fish and chips. It's actually acetic anhydride, but the principle is basically the same. So in other words, this is not a heat-treated wood. It's actually been modified, unlike a chemical dipped or lack of a term, a green wood that we might see, a pressure treated wood. This is totally different, and that's modifying the cell structure so it won't absorb water. Anyways, back to the beach.
Changes the molecular structure of the material.
So it's not pressure treated, in other words.
No.
And it will do well outside, but it will probably gray out over.
Yeah, it's totally dependent on the exposure.
Yeah.
This won't weather quite as much as the other side.
And it's run vertically, so tell me about the install process on this.
Yeah, so we've got this on a rainscreen that's just on a simple core event material that's 3/4 of an inch off of the wall.
Okay, so you've nailed this in, but you probably had to do some additional blocking for that, didn't you?
Behind the zip system, we've got some internal 2x horizontal blocking that allows us to have this nailing pattern.
Gotcha.
This rainscreen is driven for the zero window trim, but it also allows the material to dry out. I mean, that's the idea of a rain screen, is to allow any of the material to dry out properly.
So you've got good free drainage at the bottom. And some kind of detail that's going to allow it to get out at the top as well. And then this means that any water that gets back there can fall out harmlessly, and the air can get back and dry that. And this is a TNG product, obviously. It looks like maybe kind of a 1x6 style. And then I'm noticing no trim around these windows. So what'd you do on the windows on these beautiful Pellas to get them to get trimless on there?
To get this to flush out, not have an exposed edge on our Aoya siding with the rain screen, we end up furring out the window behind this, and you can see it up on other locations where we don't have siding quite yet.
Oh, okay. So you got like a 3/4 furring right there.
Yeah, behind the nailing flanges. It's hard to see behind the zip tape, but all of the windows are furred out 3/4 of an inch to allow that to flush out.
Got it. Okay,
nice
that makes
little
sense.
Detail.
That is a nice detail. And look at those pretty, what is this, Doug fir, or what is this?
Those are all, Doug fir, beams, timbers, rafter tails, and then we've got more of the Aoya as our soffit, both on our porches and our upper roofs.
That's really pretty. I like that
and
a lot.
All hidden fasteners. We've pre-stained a lot of the materials where it'll be difficult to stain it later. We will end up putting another coat on it to make it a little less transparent, but around where the timbers, where our butt joints and stuff, we know that expansion and contraction is going to happen, especially in northern Michigan, just with the humidity content. So it's important to be able to account for that, because at some point in time that's going to happen, and we want to make sure that it's stained so that just from a uniformity.
So tell me about building in the beach then. I've obviously never built a beach house.
Sure.
You know, do you have to sink piers that are or pilings, or what do you have to do to build on the sand?
No,
here?
so in northern Michigan, we have frost. So what we really have to deal with is what we call frost footing. So code makes us go to a minimum of 42 inches to bottom of footing. So in most cases around this building, that's what we have.
Okay, so where we're seeing concrete, you don't need to go down super far.
Nope.
It's not like you're building in Florida where you're going down.
Yeah, and we do
50
strip.
feet.
Yep, and we do just strip continuous footings. They're all formed. I don't remember dimensionally what these were, but then we've got pier footings underneath where our Doug fir columns go down.
Okay, gotcha. Let's go inside and take a look, can
Sure, follow me.
So concrete on the first floor,
Yep.
are we a slab on grade style construction?
This is, yeah, so this is slab on grade. We've got insulation underneath this. This is a radiant system, a hydronic
Cool.
radiant system on this main floor. We've got 2 zones. It's run by a natural gas boiler.
Nice.
And
So this has radiant tubing in there
Correct.
of some variety as
Yep.
well.
Yep,
Got it.
yep.
And then these doors are all closed over, but this is lakefront right here. So you're going to see that
Correct.
beautiful Lake Michigan beyond.
Yep, and we've got 3 pairs of La Cantina is the brand doors here that are
Cool.
multi-slides. There's 2 left and 2 right that allows those to totally open up. We've got phantom screen pockets in all of those locations as well.
Oh, dang.
For bugs and then also for shading.
That makes for some difficult execution, doesn't it? Because
It
you've
does.
got phantom screens, sliding doors, and it looks to me like you've got pocketing for
Yep.
those sliding doors as well, don't you? So
Yeah, so just coordination of all those elements is key. Making sure that where our exterior screen comes down on the sill is really important. So we've got to make sure our plumb lines and all of our reveals are going to be right, so that if our screen is in place, it actually stops what it's supposed to.
yeah,
These pockets are pretty involved as well. We've got to be able to insulate.
concrete too. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was
Oh.
going to say you dropped the concrete here too, which is
Yep.
really smart.
Yep. To
And
allow
then
for
those
the
doors will run into those pockets.
Yep.
And then is this the pocket I'm seeing for the phantom screens?
Yes.
that's a
That's
lot
for
of
the
coordination.
exterior. And then we're actually going to add a pocket on the interior for a shade phantom pocket.
Holy cow.
We just didn't have the room. You'll notice that we've got floor trusses up here, but we didn't have the depth to be allowed for a double roller to stack on top of each other. We had looked at trying to stack them, but we ended up bringing one inboard inside of the door.
Oh man! And look at all the sand that's just kind of piled up in here. This is what a building on the beach is like.
Yep, that's
This is
blow
all
sand.
just blowing in
Yep, that's
underneath
blow sand.
his door system as this kind of temporary keeps it out.
Something I did want to mention, if I can, about the concrete is that this is fly ash concrete, so it's
okay.
green cement. It's a 50% cement replacement in this case.
Really high.
Yeah, so it really adds to the structural capability of this concrete, and it allows for better finishing as well. And this is from Eco Materials, is the manufacturer of the fly ash in
That's
this
cool.
case.
What's this big window going to be right here?
So this will be a powered awning. It's driven by a piston, and the window is
that it right
actually
here?
located over there. Yep, it's
Wow.
it's about a 7-foot RO.
A powered awning window. So in other words, awning meaning it goes from closed to open, and it kind of looks like it is
Yep.
an awning when it's all out, straight
Yep.
out.
So we've got hinges up here, and if you can imagine, once it's in place, down at the sill will be a countertop material that goes from the interior to the exterior. So we will pull off the packaging and then put that in. We'll have to heat our countertop for a thermal break because it's a continuous piece of slab, so that we know that there's going to be some type of moisture at some point in time that comes in. So we're going to end up heating the interior of the countertop, so that in the winter months that we don't destroy cabinetry all winter
That's wild, but
Moisture
you're probably not gonna spend a lot of time here in the winter, I suspect, at this
Well,
house.
I would, but it's
This
not
is
my house.
Parrot windows and doors. This is the power cable, and they call this a Parrot-clad piston awning. If you can see that, that's wild. How about we go upstairs? Let's show
Sure.
these guys some of the bedrooms up there. Look at these windows! Holy cow! So this is a corner system that I've never seen before. Is this a standard with Pella? Have you seen these before?
No, this really pushed the envelope with Pella Engineering. This was something that we really worked with them quite a bit on. And we've got 6 conditions around this upstairs where we have these corner moles, but the 2 fixed corner units came together, mold, and then we field mold the operable units to those corners.
Wow, that's wild. My camera's having a hard time seeing it because it's so bright outside, but the point is you've got this beautiful corner mole, and then if you can see above us, structurally, it looks like he's got a LVL header system that's running beyond that corner.
Yep.
And this one appears to have some type of, what am I trying to say?
Concealed hangers.
Yeah, concealed hanger on there.
Yep.
To carry that load on this LVL on the other side. That's an interesting system.
Yep.
And then am I noticing too that you've got raised heel trusses? Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yep, we call those energy heel. That allows us to get insulation where we need it to reach our R49 as our current code in Michigan.
Okay.
So that allows us to meet that.
And how will you insulate this? This is obviously not a vented attic, then, right?
Yep. So this will all be closed cell foam applied directly to the roof deck, which will give us an R49 in the roof.
That's nice. It's going to be a solid house.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And look at the view through all these pillows on the back side of the house. I like this this design too, where you've got this 3 divided light kind of feature, and then you see right through those windows of that corner right out to Lake Michigan beyond. And with that casement open, you can feel that breeze coming right in that window. That's beautiful. Gorgeous design up here. Any other corner windows utilized throughout the house?
There are. If you want to go to the lounge to your left.
Okay, so we're heading this direction in the back of the house. So now we're facing away from the lake.
Yep, this is east facing, so we're kind of perched up in the trees. It really does have the feel of kind of a tree house.
Look at this room. This is cool. So we've got a corner window here on this corner, and then another corner window in the same room, and it does feel like a tree house, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's
and
neat.
More of the same 3-ply LVL structural headers with concealed fasteners.
Okay, so he's got that Simpson hanger right there.
Yep.
And this LVL is running all the way back. Let's see if we can see. How far back does that run? What's the distance
everything's
on
a 2-to-1 back span. So
so at least twice the distance
of the cantilever.
Yep.
And that's true for our rafter tails as well. You'll notice up in the roof deck that we've got the Doug fir rafter tails coming in. It's the same thing. We've got a 1-foot overhang as our eave, so they're back span 2 feet.
Gotcha. So. And then on this gable wall, this LVL is bearing here.
Correct.
And here, and cantilevers over.
Yep.
And that's what's catching that Simpson hanger right there that's concealed in there. That's a neat room.
It is.
I like this truss detail too, where you've got this angle in the room. Any special trim details or coffers or anything going on in these
It's still kind of up in the air. They are talking about wood on the ceiling in locations on the second floor. This is actually the second home that we've built for these folks, and they have a tendency to be more clean and limited trims. But we have this set up in areas for drywall returns.
Oh yeah.
Where we don't have our jam extensions. So it can really go either way, which, we're game to do that.
I like that detail. Good job, BFS Truss.
Yeah,
on all that.
Yeah.
Impressive. One other detail I wanted to mention too before we leave, Ben, I noticed in here you've got speaking of BFS trusses, you've got a lowered area. What's happening here?
Just curbless showers. That's pretty true throughout. We do a lot of that anymore, barrier free. We just have to lower our floor system so that when we ultimately build up, that we'll flush, our threshold will be flush here. And what this allows us to do too, I think in this case, we actually don't have any glass shower door, which has become more and more true in contemporary construction.
Yeah.
So just having this, and then we'll have a linear drain on the outward wall. So
that's beautiful.
It is.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
Ben, really, really appreciate the tour, my friend. Very kind of you. How can people find you on the web out there if they're interested in seeing your construction?
PaulMaurer.com is our website. We're located in Traverse City, Michigan, and we'd love to take on a project for you. We love challenging projects.
Really kind of you to give me the tour today.
Thanks for having me.
Big thanks to Ben and his crew. I got to meet several of his carpenters. They're doing in-house carpentry work here. They did a really fabulous job on this house. Guys, if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. We've got new content every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.